Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again to the StarLadder I-League Invitational Season 3. We're going to be taking a look at our second series of the day. It's going to be Team Empire facing off against Spartak Esports. I'm Lyrical, going to be joined as well in a second or two by the man Aosin Dota. He is just getting himself back from our short little break that we had. It was a little bit longer than short, if we're going to be completely honest about it. But as I said, he'll be back here in just a few moments, and he's probably going to say something like, "Oh, hey, I didn't realize we were starting," or something like that. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Hey, no thing. But yeah, Team Empire facing off against Spartak Esports. This is our final best of three of the day for the CIS region. A little bit later on, we're going to be taking a look at South America, where I believe that the first game, if I'm not mistaken, there is going to be Infamous versus Mad Kings. I think that's what it's looking like. StarLadder I-League Invitational 3. I'm going to double check that that's what it is. And then we have another one a little bit later on in the day as well. But the big thing to keep in mind, everybody, is that these qualifiers are in full swing. It's happening all the time now. This entire week, we've got 3 separate regions that are going simultaneously. Southeast Asian region, which has been covered pretty extensively by the wonderful Zyclops. And then I've been covering CIS with AO, and then Ryu and I have also been doing the South American stuff. And it is Infamous versus Mad Kings. That series is going to start 3.5 hours from right now. And then Furia Homen facing off against Digital Chaos South America, which is the final best of 3 of the day. And that game is going to start 6-7 hours from right now. So a whole heck of a lot of Dota still to be played all throughout the day. And then once we get through all of this stuff, CIS and South America, then we start again next week, the very next day, EU, North America, and China. And if you haven't gotten a chance to peep out what teams there are that are playing in those qualifiers, it's looking like it's also going to be awesome. Europe has Secret and OG. EG has North America, Team Phoenix, SGG. And then over in China, it's basically all of the big Chinese teams with the exception of Newbie. So I'm really can't wait. There's going to probably be a patch in between that time as well, I would imagine. Obviously, I don't have any inside information because I don't know what's going on. But, you know, I would imagine that there would be a patch before a minor comes about. So let's talk a little bit about these teams and what the changes are that we've seen. There is no longer a Roger on Team Empire. It's been instead replaced by the wonderful Vanscore, who has been around a lot of different CIS teams. This guy's basically run the gamut of them. I remember back in the day, he used to play for a team called CIS Rejects, which was together with Iceberg, who's now on Team Spirit. And so there's a little bit of a history that exists there between those ones. Also used to play for Empire, if I'm not mistaken, back in the day. Played for Navi also. Flipside Tactics, I think, was one of his teams. And then a whole heck of a lot of other squads. If you go back to like Four Clovers and Leprechaun and Proto to Gamings and all these other squads that have just sort of been hanging out around the area. Rebels, I think, was one of them also. And so he fits in. He knows a lot of these players. Everybody kind of knows each other in the CIS region. And likewise, you take a look at the other team that's going on here, the Spartak folks, and they're also a fairly well-known group of players. Ark has been around for a long time, plays in the carry role, used to play on Team Comanche, played for a little while as well last season with Mineski in the Southeast Asian region. So if you're wondering, that was one of the 2 players. He went there with Mag to play with him. We also have Yoku, who's been around for a long time, BZZ of much acclaim from the days when he had his Pugna set, Chuvash, Misha, they've also been around the area as well. And it's basically the Comanche Effect squad that was together last year is what we're looking at, with a couple of changes here and there also. And as far as the draft goes, you're seeing a very clearly defined style from Spartak, what they want to do. Earth Spirit may be a little bit of an awkward one in here. It's just another good team fighter. But if you look at this, Shadow Shaman, Tidehunter, Venno, get yourself an early mech on Tide, walk at towers, take them down with Venno wards as well as the Shadow Shaman wards. All they need now is a Witch Doctor, and they've got the ward strat. Will be all over the place. So that's my thought. What it is that Spartak is looking to do. They want to try and take down towers early. Maybe take a mid lane hero or a safe lane hero that can push out creep waves off to the side, something like an Ember or maybe one of those types of things. I think that Empire is the favored team here, but based upon the draft already, it feels like Spartak is a very clear style that they want to run, and Empire need to be prepared for that because it's not going to be easy. I'm sure Aosin will be here at any moment. I'm absolutely positive that he is going to show up and not just leave me hanging here. Otherwise, I'm going to have to put my boot in his butt. So, Necrophos also taken. Necro, one of the highest win rate heroes in pubs right now. We've seen him do a decent amount, even being played in the off lane. I was thinking we were watching the South American games last night, and off lane Necro, it was difficult to deal with. It was so frustrating to watch too, because it was an off lane Necro that went 2-0-3 build. So he was maxing Heartstopper aura and just like walking at people. And it was disgusting. Nobody likes to see that. Nobody wants to see that. If you're a Necrophos that's maxing Heartstopper aura, that should not be like effective in a competitive game of Dota 2, but whatever. So yeah, that's a thing. I'm feel like it's, you know, it's still a good hero, and it's kind of disgusting that it works like that. Remaining. I guess the other thing to be kind of concerned about is like Ancient Apparition. 5 seconds remaining. The only healing that you're really going to have, I guess, is from Tidehunter. I was thinking that this is the type of lineup where you'd want to have a lot of sustain, so that way you could keep that push going towards high ground. But with AA, it's hard to do that. It's also hard to 5-man into AA and Earthshaker. I want to see what Empire go back for. I actually wouldn't mind this being played in a main core role.
Dire team pick.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to end up being a... Are they going to do Chappie mid with PL? Usually it's FN that plays the mid role, but I feel like PL is more of a Chappie hero, just based upon playstyle.
Anti-mage.
Spartak, gonna go for a last pick AM, really? That was not what I was expecting. A very big surprise. So we'll wait for Steven to come back in and join us in this game. But as for now, the thing that's funny is he's actually in the lobby. I don't have his phone number, otherwise I would just call him up and give him a little boot in the butt. But he'll be back shortly, I am sure, and it'll all be fine. And then he'll be like, it's gonna be great. But game number 1 getting underway. Team Empire facing off against Spartak Esports. And with an Arc AM, they have a lot of answers for AM, and it's maybe a little bit scary. It's like 4 heroes running around making stuff happen around the map while AM farms. It's a pretty clear strategy what they want to do. All right, where is he? Sorry, my phone is muted for some reason. Okay, wait, are you here? Hello? Are you in Discord? I'm in Discord if you want to unmute.
No, don't worry, I'm here.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
I have technical difficulties on my side. Actually, that's not true.
Just call it. That'll be fine. We'll just say that it's technical difficulties. Nobody will know the difference.
Yeah, that is it. I came right at the right time, though.
Yeah, you're here for the game to get started. It was 4 heroes and an AM picked.
For battle.
I'll give you a second to look at the draft and figure out what you think about it, and then you can talk to me about Empire or Spartak and what you think of these two folks and the draft that they've gone for. As Maposhka gets down a pretty deep ward there. Not blocking out the camp, but giving good vision.
I think the draft looks pretty even. It looks pretty even, but I feel like Dire side have more room for mistakes. I feel like Empire's lineup is they're gonna have to like play really well for this to you know, work out for them. That's what it feels like, at least.
See, for me, I was looking at the lineup, and it was first 4 picks like Veno, Shadow Shaman, Tide, Earth Spirit, and I was like, all right, this lineup just wants to run down towers, bully them down, and take objectives around the map. But it feels like with that AM last pick, I don't know, is it like a playstyle change, or is it like just 4 heroes not really protecting one but making space for one? Is that basically the idea?
I mean, whenever you have an anti-mage, that is kind of the idea, but I think anti-mage here is pretty good in terms of like team fighting and stuff. Like obviously he needs his items, but against these heroes, I think anti-mage is actually pretty good.
Okay, cool. What do you think about the PL in the mid lane against a Venomancer?
I think it's kind of weird.
Okay.
But it's not like bad either. It's like if you get Galed, you can just Doppelganger, and I believe it removes it.
Okay. That's pretty good then. They do have ES and ES stalking each other here. And they're just going to trade off hits, I guess. Still a ward left on Earthshaker. I'm probably going to mispronounce one of those at some point in this game, which I'm sure will be fine. But with these two heroes here, it's just going to be more of a one-on-one matchup, I guess. Bottom lane, it feels like Tide should be able to get a decent amount here. Do you feel like that's the case?
Yeah. Not... it's kind of hard to say. Like, look at this damage.
Yeah.
Because they have decent magic damage between the AA and the Necrophos. And he even picks up the Orb of Venom to make sure that he's going to have a hard time.
Damn, that is a lot of damage, and going to have to pop that salve early while Vanscore is able to get some pulls off. And up here top, they're Ghost Stick trying to make something happen against the Shadow Shaman, just causing some issues and getting those stacks up whenever possible.
This Earthshaker versus Earth Spirit, the ES versus ES. They're just like watching each other. And I think this actually kind of hurts the Earthshaker more than the Earth Spirit.
Yeah. Why is that?
Well, Earth Spirit, I feel like you don't really need much, right? As long as you... I'd say like level 10 is pretty much like all you really need to be really effective. Oh wait, I'm watching FN. Okay. Alright, so Doppelganger does not remove Gale.
Okay, good to know.
I was kind of doubting myself because like Gale is kind of weird. Like it's like a lot of stuff doesn't get rid of it. Like if you get Gale, then you BKB, it doesn't get rid of it. So I was like kind of wondering, but
got it.
But yeah, an Earthshaker actually needs farm and levels.
Oh, and we're seeing, I think both of the ES has got both of the bounty runes as well. Oh wait, no, BCZ was able to get one of those bounty runes. But FN not going to get caught there by the rolling boulder, able to doppelganger away from it, and showing that even if he does end up getting galed, he should be able to live through a lot of the aggression that comes out.
I'm just watching this Tide Hunter.
What are your thoughts on the way that this lane is going to go for him? I mean, he's been able to get level 3 so far, so things seem like they're going okay.
Oh yeah, it's not bad. I don't see Tide Hunters enough nowadays, so it's always hard to see. Or top lane, or Shaker gonna get caught out.
Oh, well, they are gonna be able to throw that fissure now down onto Arc, and it's a little bit of damage. He did blink forward for that, so have to back out afterwards. I was wondering if Chubash was gonna go for like a kick onto the Earthshaker, so that way they'd be able to get him under tower possibly or something, but didn't want to go for that, saving mana. Well, he talked about the danger. Yeah, this is a little bit scary here. BZZ doesn't have enough mana for a Gale yet, but really a little bit of harassment that he's able to pile here against FN is a bit of a problem, and if Chubash is able to get a good initiation, could be an easy kill.
Wait, FN? FN?
Is he dead?
Oh, that was so close. He dodged one tick of Doppelganger. That poison sting actually almost killed him.
Oh my god. He got there and he was on 12 HP. Yeah, that would have been quite bad.
Truly a greedy mid player.
Yeah.
Stays to the very, very last moment.
Well, Ghost Stick, meanwhile, in the top lane, might end up getting blinked upon. They have it off cooldown in 2 seconds, but Arc not able to make it happen. And Anti-Mage I mean, he did have the wand charges, so he probably could have lived if he dove, but might not have been able to secure the kill anyways. What do you think about this skill build out of BZZ? Going for the 3 points in Gale right now, is this just about lane domination here and causing trouble for FN?
Yeah, I think this build is something you see quite often. People normally go like this kind of build until I thought roll in. Oh,
almost able to get him, but now with Maposhka and Ghostic coming in, they are going to cause some trouble. BZZ getting ran after. The boulder smashes off the mark, and they will draw first blood. Somehow, FN is the one that gets away with the kill there.
Great comeback begin.
Yeah, that was really well done. That was an amazing block by Earthshaker.
Wow.
He was waiting for him too and baited him.
It's like they knew what they wanted to do. Vanscore just going to run away from Yoku here. We'll get a little clap of the anchor smash as he passes by, but nothing really of substance yet done. As FN takes away the shrine before Maposhka can get there. Fine and dandy. So 6 minutes in so far, and it feels like it's kind of a relatively even exchange in terms of each of the lanes getting about what you would expect. The big difference just being that Venomancer died once in the mid lane.
Invisibility.
Yeah, pretty even so far. Obviously, you definitely don't want the anti-mage to get out of control, but once again, you know, you have that timer. You don't have to worry about them too much until that Battle Fury comes online, and then it's like the third item. That's when it gets really problematic. But until then, you know, you have time.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Use a scan right there to make sure that there's nobody wrapping around onto the Batrider, so he will be able to pull the creep wave past while AM continues to farm. He is still a long ways away from any type of blink. Guys, jump into the mid lane. FN going to get caught for a moment. See if he ends up ticking down to this. It is a lot of damage, but the roll forward, FN caught. And he is going to get denied. They managed to find him, and now Chuvash is going to fall because of it. Maposhka, the big old deny there mid. That was huge.
People have found the counter to Venomancer. Just deny your teammate.
Yeah. That was not what you wanted to have happen. And look at Chappie down here. While all this is going on, he's going to be able to take this, at least parts of this big old stack. And, well, they are starting the game off right. Empire with a little bit of a lead so far, about 1,000 gold into their favor.
Tidehunter almost level 6. Looks like Necro is going to be going for a Veil. Well, they want to go for the kill.
Almost there. They need a little bit more damage with the hands, but it's not going to be there. Maybe if Vanscore got there slightly earlier, it could have been enough to find the kill with the Reaper's Scythe, but not going for it. Okay, so 8 minutes in now, and so far it's Empire that's been the ones to come out on top as far as the laning stage is concerned. How do you feel like Spartak feel about the game, though? Like, are they pretty happy with the AM's level of farm, or do you think that they're starting to get concerned at all about the way that Empire is moving and making things happen?
Yeah, it should be fine for now. Like this, they're not gonna worry about the anti-mage until, you know, he finishes Battle Fury. I think when you have your Battle Fury, that's when you have to worry about the anti-mage's farm, because you need to actually give him the space to make the Battle Fury.
Whoa. There's going to be a nice little Ravage drop down in the bottom lane. They need to make sure that they find that kill, and to do so, they bring 4 heroes. Chappie down.
The bottom.
It's a pretty good rotation considering there really isn't too much going on in the other lanes. Like, anti-mage is already pushing the tower, and mid lane Phantom Lancer not exactly the greatest when it comes to pressuring these towers, so having a bunch of heroes in the bottom lane just for 1 kill, not exactly the worst thing.
Yeah. I would have liked to see them maybe... Well, the only problem is that you have a BZZ Venomancer that doesn't have any points in wards, so they can't really try and pressure that tower, like you're saying. but he is still having a great time for himself, and I would imagine would soon get in towards the wards now.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. He really committed to this right-click build.
I guess they do have the wards later on from the Shadow Shaman, who, by the way, has made this rotation over, so they'll be able to find that kill onto the Earth Spirit. Ghost Stick also going to be here now with a little bit of help from Van Score. They're going to try and take down Misha, and he will drop. The rest of them get away. In the meantime, Empire get a tier 1 of their own.
'Tis mine.
So I think you were asking me about Necrolite builds, or not Necrolite, Necrophos builds yesterday. And you were saying how sometimes people have the Veil build, some people have like Blink Dagon. We're gonna see the Veil this time.
Yeah.
And I think it's definitely the right choice this time around. You have Earthshaker, Batrider, and AA, to some extent PL. Actually, to a large extent, I think PL also benefits from that. So it's gonna be a lot of magic damage coming out of Empire. They need to get a pipe on Tidehunter.
You think that that's even worth it before Mechanism this game?
Yeah, I think it'll do more than a mech.
Oh, Arc is going to get out of that one. He does have the Perseverance completed and Treads also, so it's been a pretty good farming game so far for the AM. Ploshka not going to be able to find him there, but they're doing a really good job of keeping their eyes on this anti-mage and making sure that he doesn't get any free farm anywhere. It does mean that BZZ is getting some open space in the mid lane, and we'll start to push this tower down. But
Dire's top tower is under attack.
at the very least, they're making sure it's not a free Battle Fury early on.
How is Phantom Lancer's farm? Phantom Lancer is going to be going for the Diffusal immediately,
Oh.
which is actually like really, really good against anti-mage early on. You can pressure anti-mage as a PL early on with this kind of build because it only takes. Oh, wait a second, Tidehunter, No Man's Land. He's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he went in deep for this one, trying to make that rotation to see if they can make something happen with a Ravage, but
Radiant structures are
Empire
fortified.
punish in a big way.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So, nice play there by Empire to make sure that they find that kill.
But yeah, when you have Diffusal on your PL like early on, and you have Batrider or Earthshaker initiate for you, it only takes like a moment of lockdown, and you can very easily drain all of anti-mage's mana, and you can't blink away.
Yeah. And they have a lot of different heroes to keep him under lockdown once you get into a Blink Dagger
Radiant's
on
middle
Ghost Stick,
tower
which he's
is under
going
attack.
for immediately.
Dire's
No
top
drum is
tower
built this
is
time
under
around. They
attack.
want to make sure that they have the tools to kill off that AM.
Dire's
Chappie
top tower
makes the
has
move
fallen.
up towards the top lane, takes down the tower there, and going for an early hood himself. I wonder if it's actually going to be the Necro that goes for a pipe as well.
Yeah, it's a very good pickup for this game. A lot of magic damage from both sides, really.
Yeah. Well, it's a 13-minute Hanamitis for BZZ,
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
and one of the best heroes with that 30% experience gain talent
Dire's
towards
top
getting to
tower
the
is
later
under
talents.
attack.
But now we'll have to see where that first rotation comes with the Blink Dagger. Ghost Stick has picked it up. Now getting ready to move out.
Looks like Chappie is going to be going straight for the pipe as his first item.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Wards drop bottom. Tower should be going down here shortly. Yoku there to soak up the damage from the tower. And it doesn't look like
Dire's top tower
is
is
gonna
under
be-
attack.
Well, AMX actually moving over here towards the mid.
Radiant's
could find
bottom
him.
Tower is under attack.
They have wards here. They see him and he's just going to blink away immediately.
Radiant's bottom tower
Oh, but they find out Misha, and they
Yeah.
also get the tower deny.
Radiant's middle tower is
Well,
under
Misha
attack.
just burns to death, but they won't find anybody with that Blink Dagger reveal. In the meantime, Veno trying to push mid. They weren't able to connect on the AM, who is now only 300 gold away from his Battle Fury, but they can start hunting him pretty continuously.
Oh, Ghost Stick. They found BZZ. Can he catch him? They are going to catch him.
He didn't end up dropping his ulti there. It would have been a pretty nice Ravage if they would have been able to get the ulti off, but not wanting to fully commit for that. And now the roll forward, the Jubash is just going to sort of take some damage from the PL Illusions, and they're going to have to back out.
Yeah, this defusal pickup is actually like doing a lot of work for them. You just throw out one lance, and a lot of heroes on the Dire side have a ton of issue with this mono burn early on.
8 kills in 15 minutes. With 2 towers taken, do you feel like Empire just try and go now for a full push down mid lane, take that tier 1 here, or do they need to play it a little bit more subtly than that and instead find a pick off first?
I think they want to start going for pickoffs first. I think trying to push like this is a little too difficult. Oh, mid lane. They should definitely look for pickoffs around the map. Going straight up like for a head-on push is really difficult.
I guess
especially since it's a Ravage. That's why.
Yeah, and I guess that's something else that I should probably say is that I was saying should have maybe got his ulti off there, but I guess holding on to the Venom ulti in some ways is better because now they can kind of keep Empire back from trying to push in because they're afraid to run into a Venom with an ulti.
There is definitely that kind of possibility, but at the same time, one of the main reasons why he probably didn't do it was because the Tidehunter was a little too far away, and the rest of the Empire team was much further behind the Bat Rider. So if he ulted, it probably only would have hit the Bat Rider.
Yeah. Well, Misha will be able to pick up his arcanes here. It is a pipe done for the Necro, like we were talking about. But by the same token, we do also have a lot of damage coming in. He managed to get his ulti off that time. He's going to drop down. They find the Hex onto Chappie. Jubash just going to roll away. Ends up getting interrupted there. And, well, will be punished, but managed to get off one stun before he goes down. Still, not a great situation. That pipe just mitigates all of the damage coming in. The only bright side you can say is that Arc is still farming, but there's always this timing, and if Empire just keep the pressure on, this could be a really rough and short game for Spartak.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Arc is doing his best to kind of like pressure the other lanes. He actually got a lot of damage on this bottom tier 2, so things could have been worse for sure.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Well, Yoku, Blink Dagger is going to be the next pickup for him. Feeling like they need to have the tools with which to defend against the push that they know is going to come. Also worth noting that Chubash has been able to get up to level 7, so maxed out Boulder Smash and Magnetize is ready for him. Would you maybe like to see some more split pushing coming out from Spartak here, trying to take tier 1 towers with wards and stuff?
It's really hard and very risky. Yeah. They're kind of like under-leveled and under-farmed right now. Only Anti-Mage is able to do that. If anyone else tries to do that right now, you run the risk of getting killed off by Bat Rider or Earthshaker, considering like both of them have a Blink Dagger now. And there's also a Necro on the other side, so if you get caught out, I mean, you're dead for like a good amount of time.
Yeah. Well, they're moving up towards the bottom lane here, and it's a Blink Dagger reveal from Earthshaker. Not going the way that they wanted it, I don't think, but he will be able to get the blink away before the damage comes in. Now they've been able to catch onto one. Arc going to get caught there by the fissure. Chappie looking, they want to take him down. They will be able to find that kill. He falls to the Necro, dead for 46 seconds. That is exactly what you're talking about.
Well, you don't want to get caught by that Necro. It's only 18 minutes into the game, and you're on the sidelines for much longer than than normal.
Yeah. Especially for the AM, that one hurts particularly hard. He has the Yasha done, but still a ways away from Manta Style, and you can see that Maposhka is sitting up here on the high ground, ready to keep the lanes pushed out against Spartak when eventually they want to go for the next tier 2 tower siege. This one is dead in the bottom lane.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, this is definitely what they want to be doing.
Are fortified.
No head-on fights or anything like that, but they kind of just like pressure across the map while protecting their own towers. They're only going to build themselves a bigger lead. Yeah. These supports are struggling on the Dire side. Oh, they're going to get caught out again.
Oh, good hex, but I don't know if it's going to end up mattering. He doesn't have enough mana, really, and Chuvash rolling away, barely able to escape. It's going to keep him alive, but now you have this Tide Hunter stuck up on the high ground. He doesn't have mana for anything, and he, too, is going to die. If they wanted to, they could wait for the Reaper Sight to be back up, but it looks like they're going to wait for the moment and just end up killing him off instead.
I don't even think they could wait. Because the Firefly was going to kill him off eventually, I think. So another pickoff happens, and I mean, it happens near the top tier 2, so they're going to at least get some damage up here.
7,500 net worth lead. 20 minutes in. And very little hope right now for a Spartak team that is relying upon this AM farm to be able to carry them in the late game, but it's feeling like that's at least 20 minutes off before they're even sort of capable of taking a team fight on even ground.
This is kind of one of the main reasons why I don't like anti-mage too much for this patch, I guess, is because a lot of the teams just like to keep fighting, and like you really need your items as an anti-mage to fight. You can't just show up, even with Battle Fury Yasha. Like unless your team is far ahead, it's still very difficult for you to get in, because a good team will just instantly target you down, and then they'll just be like, "Hey, we got the main target. Let's just leave."
Yeah. The only ways I've really seen it great is if there's like a storm or something in the game, and even then we saw the other day, it doesn't always end up mattering. Like sometimes
it really doesn't.
It doesn't even always end up working out. So, well, we'll have to wait and see. The plus side is that FN has gone for a very glass cannon-y build. He's sitting at 1,200 HP right now, and not a whole lot of abilities to sort of keep him alive outside of Doppelganger, which is max. So if they manage to find him, they could blow him up, and it'd be a nice hefty chunk of gold going back into their coffers if they did that.
Yeah. It's still a tough kill. I mean, he's got Boots of Travel as well as Yasha. He's moving very quickly, and the thing about Phantom Lancer is you kind of just sit around throwing spears until you actually have the items necessary to walk into these team fights. So these items are great for just running around the map to farm with, and in team fights, he's still very effective because he just throws out lancers. And, oh,
yeah, that'll just about do it.
He goes down again.
Also going to be pulled here. Possibly. With the Earth Spirit, they're a little bit too afraid, but I mean, that's one of those kills that's just heartbreaking for your team. You build up this little bit of farm for yourself, starting to get towards the items that you need, but a kill like that just makes you pump the brakes a whole hell of a lot. And FN now going to try and push this lane out. A decent silence, but there's just not really anything to follow it up.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, all they can do is retreat into their base.
All right, Blink Ravage possibility. If Spartak were going to win this game, what does that look like later on down the road?
It really comes down to initiation. They're very far behind, but as long as they blow up the Necro immediately, like they need to kill off the Necro, and then the Tide Ravage has to be like big, and then Anti-Mage can blink in, kill the Necro, and then after that they should have enough damage to actually win the team fight.
Okay.
But that's only if they kill the Necro.
Alright, so Necro needs to blow up. Speaking of which, he is going for a Radiance, has the Relic completed. So not very tanky on this build, but we'll be starting to deal a hell of a lot of damage. And it feels like if they don't manage to kill him before that Radiance comes up, it might not ever happen. And speaking of which, they are not going to be able to, I don't believe.
I think like with the items he has now, he's probably tanky enough.
Yeah.
Probably not so much in terms of in armor and health, but he's got pipe, and you have the defensive capabilities of Ghost Shroud as well as the Death Pulse. Oh. Well, Spirit rolls in, but
there's gonna be
I don't know how effective that roll-in is.
Ravage wards are all down. Chappie immediately back up to full HP. They take down one, they take down another. Echo Slam to boot.
Oh, anti-mage has been caught, and he's gonna get all of his mana drained.
Yeah, he manages to get the blink away, but is this really going to keep him alive? It's a possibility. He's going to throw out one of these wards, or rather lances, and looks like they will get away on several of these heroes, but still not looking pretty.
You said Necro wasn't very tanky. I mean, look at him. He doesn't care.
Fair enough. Yeah, he is... I guess what I should say is he doesn't have a ton of HP relative to how much farm he has. He has 12,000 net worth, but only 1,500 HP. I guess that he's also level 16 though, and has decent strength gain, 2.3.
Yeah, he's tanky enough. Most of the damage is magic anyways. So that type alone makes his effective HP pool much higher than it looks. And look, they're trying to kill him again, and
it's
this time
gonna happen.
He has no. This time, no, he's gonna go down this time. I mean, this time he has no health. So, I mean, if he lives through this, then you know he's.
It's really sad that this is the hero, that it takes this much to make it work, and the Radiance eventually comes. He is gonna fall, but my God.
If he had Radiance there, he probably would have lived, because he would have killed someone and he would have regen through it. I'm pretty certain.
A little bit late on the Radiance, unfortunately. So Necro ends up going down, but 15-4. Empire is just taking no prisoners, and that type of a kill is not something that I expect to be replicated again.
Yeah, definitely. PL gonna be going for the Blink Dagger next. I like this this build. It's like you start standard. Actually, I'm pretty sure this is like the standard PL build at this point. You just go Manta Diffusal, and then you go Blink Dagger afterwards.
And later on, probably this game, the magic resistance would make the most sense, since all of the damage that's coming in pretty much is magical.
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, if there's something good going to the favor of Spartak, you have a Venno who's been able to get up to level 16 rather, and has the Hand of Midas. BKB is about halfway done for Arc. Like, the AM has not fallen that far behind in terms of farm. I kind of wonder if there's a way in which they come back into this game, since he's still like almost getting to that third item now. What do you think?
It's definitely possible. I mean, it's all one of those situations where it's like a really low chance of it happening, but it's not impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you think a game is actually impossible, it's like those games where they found Vantscore. These little things they help a lot.
Yeah.
And they're right next to the tower as well, so Blink Ravage? I would Blink Ravage.
There it is. Going in for this one. Oh, nope. Gonna be able to get the Force Staff, trying to get him out of there. Chappie. Ghost Stick went for the jump in. Not gonna be able to get it. Trap 2 with the wards. Still will lose his life. So they force out, I guess, the lasso, but yeah, I don't know. It could have maybe been bigger.
That was for a Ravage.
Yeah.
See, even after witnessing that, in my head, when I saw that, I was immediately thinking to myself, he should Ravage this. Right. It's a good opportunity. And they thought the exact same thing. And then they Ravaged him. And look at how much damage he did. It wasn't even close. The moment they saw a second hero, they're just like, okay, this isn't going to happen. We need to run. Yeah. So it's like super misleading how tanky he actually is. Especially with that Radiance now too. Like, you have the evasion.
Well, and he just picked up a plate mail also. Tidehunter going back now for the 35% experience gain talent. Not one that you often see, but kind of makes sense given that there's not a ton of physical damage in this, and they need to catch up. It just has to happen. There is going to be a smoke out now, and if I was Empire, I would not be expecting this since Ravage is down. Poshka, drop down one ward. Yoku going to be able to back out. But this would be big if they could find somebody. They're kind of set up for a decently comboed together Earth Spirit stun.
Oh.
Poshka, they end up getting caught there. Two people with the Gale. This is an Aghanim Scepter upgrade ultimate as well. And they've got control over Chappie. Chappie is starting to fall down. They're going to be able to blow him up. That's a big kill by Arc with this BKB there. And Maposhka not going to end up dying there, it looks like, to the combo. Instead, it's going to be a pullback now onto Arc. They've got him controlled. FN shows up, but I don't think they have enough damage to kill him off. So the final tally, a Necro and an AA for the cost of a Veno. Not bad at all.
I smell comeback potential. Is this BKB pickup going to be what it takes?
Certainly a possibility. And he has $10 stats, so much more tanky than he was previously. Earth Spirit, not up to his next item yet. I don't know, anything really sticking out to you is like the... Does this feel like it actually does have comeback potential?
Yeah, I think it's totally possible. I mean, Anti-Mage is reaching that point. Once he picks up the next item, gonna be much stronger than he is now, for obvious reasons. But that BKB pickup is making it so that he can actually fight. Like, there is just way too much stuff on the other side for him to go into. And with this BKB, the only thing he has to really worry about is the lasso. Necro ulti is kind of problematic, but if he's BKB'd, then there isn't going to be too much damage coming out. Like, the right-click potential isn't really that high from the PO.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is that I feel like now that you have the Radiance coming out soon on the Tidehunter, if he can finish that one off, that's another avenue to just sort of deal that damage over time. You're not going to be able to blow up the Tidehunter at the beginning of the fight more often than not, since he has a hood as well. And they're dodging these fights here, making sure that they don't get caught out. All is going well. Relatively speaking, relative to what it was before at the very least.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I think this Venomancer should actually pick up Diffusal, but...
Radiant's
now he's gonna die.
tower is under attack.
Oh, they even ult him because they don't want to get ulted, but he still gets it off.
Alright. They would love to have been able to push this high ground, and they still can possibly. Arc shows up, maybe in some trouble. He gets the BKB off. Now the Ravage turn, trying to fight, takes down one. Earthshaker's out of there. They get another one, all by virtue of that Venom ulti. And now, with Magnetize being reapplied onto FN, he is going to be able to get out of there. They drop everything, but they win that fight handedly.
This is it. It's happening. Every time he uses BKB, good things happen, so they're working their way up.
And Tide has a Radiance.
Very interesting. It's a really good pickup. If you blink in and you Ravage, it makes it really difficult for heroes like Bad Rider and Earthshaker to make moves on you, because one, if they're caught in the Ravage, they're probably going to die. Earthshaker doing a good job in identifying where the Earthshaker is, kills him off immediately. And if you don't die in the Ravage, then you're going to have to wait quite some time before you can actually blink and do something. The Tidehunter has Radiance, so...
Well, and FN is kind of going for this tanky build to make sure that he's able to survive through the burst that's coming out. But he does still run into the issue that once mana is drained from heroes, he doesn't deal a ton of damage. Eventually, once he gets into that butterfly, that's going to change, but I don't know. I might be a little bit concerned at this point. BZZ going to get ran at. They have a hell of a lot of damage for him. We'll see if he manages to get anything off. Nope. He's just going to die. He didn't have ulti anyways.
They learned their lesson.
Yeah.
That's got ulted immediately this time.
Right.
Not gonna risk anything.
Well,
What does Anti-Mage have now? Anti-Mage almost has his Abyssal. It's looking
Dire's
scary.
middle tower is under attack.
and in the meantime, they're cutting creep waves. They do have a creep wave in the mid lane, so backdoor protection is taken off.
Dire's top
Tidehunter
tower
is going to
has
get the
been
deny.
denied.
Nicely done. But it looks like
Radiant's
Empire
top
just going to
tower
back
is
out
under
now,
attack.
get into a position to secure themselves some shrines.
Dire's top shrine is
On
under
Maposhka,
attack.
I love this ward placement. Oh, this is actually quite good. He might get stuck up here if the Radiance ends up starting to burn onto Maposhka, but Maposhka has eyes on all these heroes, and he's going to be able to jump onto the backlines right here with Chuvash and Misha. They're in trouble. Can they separate him from the rest of the herd? Looking for that opening. Venomancer is going to be there as well. Look at how much patience Maposhka is showing up here on the high ground. They're not deciding to go for it.
Oh, it hurts. You see so many opportunities, but you can't do anything because your team's not there.
Yeah. wonder how long he stays up here.
He's having a good time. Yeah. I mean, at this point, he doesn't need farm either.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
Oh, he jumped off. Right.
Tidehunter gonna go for the Octarine next. Get that cooldown lowered, and I guess he might end up going for the 15 strength, probably. I'm not sure exactly what he wants to go for. Just more tankiness.
6 regen looks so like nice right now to have, but well, we'll see. I think both options are good. 15 strength is nice, but 6 mana regen like helps him a lot. So he's actually like having issues getting everything off, because if you get touched by even one illusion, like it's actually so annoying. Alright, take 15 strength.
Alright, BZZ, he has his blink, he has his Ags. I don't know if they still want to take this fight. Maybe with the Abyssal Blade, it's the right moment. Chuvash could set up for a really good combo as well. It feels as if Empire knows that there's a bait happening right here with Arc. The illusions are moving in. Ghost Stick is sitting there. They have eyes on the jump forward. They found him. The immediate jump out now. Can they do this? They have the Ravage available as well if they want to go for it. Yoku falls out, but there's already the BKB down. And now Anti-Mage turning to fight. Takes on one. They can't kill him off. He's going to live through it. FN on the other side. He's managing to get out of there. Yoku with that 15 strike, staying alive. But I don't know if it's going to end up being enough. He's getting chased down, going to get killed off. And AM, nowhere left to go. It's a team wipe. Empire played it perfectly.
Oh, man. The classic, let's kill Necro, and we can't do it. So he's called GG?
Damn. It looked like it was going to come back around, but Team Empire close it out. And I guess was it all just, like, if they don't find Ursh Spirit there at the very beginning, does that fight look different?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, initiation is just so important. It is super important. If, like, for example, if Tidehunter is the one who initiates, like, they're going to be able to get enough damage in to win a team fight, because Veno Ags on top of Ravage and Earth Spirit abilities, it's like more than enough damage to kill off the entire team. At that point, it just comes down to whether or not you can deal with the Necrophos before he actually gets everyone back up. And I mean, right there, like you saw, like, they just didn't have the damage for Necrophos because this fight was so disjointed. It was just an Anti-Mage and a Tidehunter hitting the Necrophos, and it just wasn't enough.
Well, that's going to do it for game number 1. Spartak facing off against Team Empire. Empire continue to assert the dominance in the CIS region after a very good display at TI. Obviously a different lineup than they had there. We have Vanscore standing in as well as Chappie instead of Resolution, but still a very good performance. We're going to go into game number 2 in just a few moments, everybody. Stick around so we continue the CIS coverage, or rather the coverage of the CIS qualifiers for the Starladder I-League Season 3. Be back in a bit.